Salutations everybody, it is Matty here today and it is next gen season. The hype is in the air. I feel it going through my veins. That, or it's this water here I'm drinking. I'm not quite sure. And we've got Harold the Skull here. I'm gonna turn on Harold, and then we got Vault Boy here he'll hold my water. Oh, okay. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is a content test. We're gonna see if you pass this test here. I'm gauging interest. I'm very hyped for Demon's Souls Remake. I think this is gonna be the first game I put right into my PlayStation 5, and I thought next gen RPG channel, this seems to match really well. So I'm doing kind of an everything you need to know video for this game based off a lot of information we've been getting these last couple of weeks, because the hype is picking up for Demon's Souls Remake. Sony's finally talking about the game. We're seeing gameplay videos. We got 3 individual gameplay trailers just showing the game running. It's been really transparent actually, which I've enjoyed, but we've also had a lot of separate news bits here and there. I want to go ahead, pepper them all your way, and then get some thoughts. If you want to see some Demon's Souls Remake content, I got some ideas, but I want to talk to you. I'm very driven by my audience. Of course, you're looking for builds. Of course, I'm going to have previews and discussions and reviews, that type of stuff, but just trying to keep the ball rolling in my head, right? You know, if we can attach ourselves to a certain RPG for a little bit, I'd love that. Do expect some streams maybe, but once again, want to touch base with all of you. You're the people who are watching. I want to make sure you're properly entertained as well as informed. And with that out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into a info extravaganza when it comes to Demon's Souls Remake. Lots and lots of sources to go through here today, but let's get it started with a little bit of a snippet of gameplay. So it was revealed through a PlayStation blog post that they completely overhauled the character creator within the Demon's Souls Remake. And then we saw it in action. Now, a lot of people have been like, hold on, why are we even doing this? We're wearing a helmet for most of our playthrough. Well, au contraire. Number one, fashion Souls, where have you been? Of course that's a thing. Number 2 though, is that in the game's photo mode, which they announced inside the same post, you can remove the character's helmet, you can remove their armor, you can even remove the character entirely if you just want to take a picture of the scenery. So we're gonna see a lot of photos of Demon's Souls Remake all up and down the TL. Get ready for that. But still, this is why you want to create a beautiful character, so don't put it to the side, okay? Put time into your character. I mean, for me, I do it, but I also am a sucker of doing like the camera pan and, you know, feeling very epic before, in this game, of course, I get crushed to death. But still, I'm liking what I'm seeing with the overhauled character creator. They talked about millions of permutations and different characters that we can create, so I think it is worth investing your time in building someone you're gonna care about. I mean, they're gonna die a lot, man. You gotta be there for them. Make them at least look good, right? We also saw in some of this gameplay that the load times are insane, like ridiculous. Now, it's no secret, you got eyeballs, right? You're here, I'd imagine. Demon's Souls Remake looks really beautiful. Okay, you may not like the game, but it looks beautiful. And the fact that it looks so good, and it loads in like 5 seconds into the Boletarian Palace from the Nexus, like, dude, here's the thing. I was hyped for the Xbox One and the PS4, but the PS5 and the Series X, like the power these systems are boasting, where we're seeing these dreamlike games running at 60 FPS and then loading like that. Man, I love it. It was confirmed via this gameplay video that they will be using the original code for the gameplay mechanics, so it does play the same. The only significant change I picked up on is the changes in animations when it comes to weapon attacks, but Bluepoint is claiming that the frame data is going to be the exact same. It's just going to look different, so weapons have their own looks and feels, which personally I appreciate. I think loot's a big part of these games. You get some really cool weapons in Demon's Souls, and they should kind of look and feel different, not all have the same exact attacks. At least that's my opinion. We'll see, of course, in practice with these new animations, how the frame data maps out. Of course, if your arm's up here or down here, does that change how things work? These are things that need to be considered, and we can only figure out through extensive testing and playing the game, but I like it aesthetically speaking. I think if they're gonna change anything, this is one place that it could have been better. Of course, the game came out in like, what, 2009, I think it was? Like, it's a very old game, so this seems like a no-brainer. We also saw immediately the slight visual changes in the HUD, especially on the bottom left, with the items and the spells. They're more in a diamond now rather than boxes that really started to crowd into your screen. Even the HUD for bosses with their names has been changed, and of course when you enter the area, it's been changed a little bit, which personally I like. It's more cleaned up looking. The gameplay video also claims there are thousands of new sound effects and a score that has been entirely remade. So Souls games always have these bombastic orchestras of like, oh, 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 oh. You know, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put you through that. I promised I wasn't gonna sing anymore, but I break that promise a lot. I'm starting now, I won't sing anymore. I got you guys. But anyway, this score is incredible. Go ahead and listen to it. Even like the Nexus music, right? Like the just quick little beats, no voices. It's very soothing, but in a dark manner, right? Because it's beautiful, but you're in this very awful position. And so I just love when it turns it up a notch and the boss music kicks in. So to hear that's been fully remade, we saw a little bit of that in actually Mafia 1's Definitive Edition, the remake of that game, where they completely redid the score and added a bunch of new music. It seems like in the case of Demon's Souls Remake, they're remaining very loyal, not adding much stuff. But there are some changes and some news that I think will relieve a lot of people. So let's talk a little bit about that. It starts off with difficulty modes. It has been confirmed there won't be any. This has been a point of conversation really since Sekiro. I think it picked up a lot discussing accessibility versus the aim of a design of a game. I touched on this in the Ham Radio podcast a little bit, kind of offering my thoughts, so I don't want to go too deep into it so I don't sound like I'm repeating myself, but I'm a big believer in chasing a vision for a game. But I do think there is a happy medium that Blue Point has found to make sure the game is accessible, something that people can beat and play through, but at the same time respecting the intentions of the designers and the original creation that was made with Demon's Souls. And so what they did was added over 180 tips videos. For those who aren't aware, PlayStation 5 is going to have in its UI a whole tip system. Now it's up to the developers if they want to take full advantage of this, kind of like say for the PS4, the touchpad. It can just be another button you press, or it could be a mechanic. You can slide around the map with that touchpad. Wow, that was a next gen feature, wasn't it? But when it comes to tips, let's say you are stuck on a boss, you can go ahead, look up a tip, and it'll tell you what to do. But that's completely out of the game, separate. So it's one of those things where I hope at least they're not gonna pop a notification on your screen and be like, hey, you're kind of stuck. It's time to get good. Check these tips out. I really hope to God they don't do that. I imagine though, they won't. And so when it comes to these tips, I think it's a good happy medium. You're not pushing people into choosing a difficulty setting and disrupting what I think was the original design of the game, which was to crush you and force perfection onto you and learn patterns and get it right. But at the same time, for those who want to get in and maybe aren't as great at these games, maybe their twitch reflexes are slow and various other accessibility issues, they have a much better chance now because you can go to a video and directly find out what you need to do in a certain area. And so I think that's a good in-betweener for all parties where no one's really losing out. They also put the lighting system ever so slightly on display. Now, what stuck out to me here was when a fireball was shot in the most recent State of Play gameplay. And in there, you see the fireball just traveling and lighting up the entire cavern. I don't know, man, that stuff just, it gives me goosebumps. Like, it makes it feel so real, but it's also so empowering to like see a fireball come out of your character's hands and you just see the light traveling, it crashes onto the enemy. Something really cool about that. But let's go back into the news a little bit. Now, I'm not gonna post any screenshots here and I'm not gonna get into specifics of the trophy list. I know a lot of people wanna either see it for themselves or they don't wanna have anything ruined for them, which I totally understand, I respect, so you don't have to worry here. I'm not gonna ruin it for you, but do know that they've made some very positive changes from the original game's trophy list. The question was, would Demon's Souls Remake take the original PS3 trophy set that was in place and just carry that over to the PS4? We have seen some PS3 remasters do that in the past, and so the question here was, would they repeat that? What I think would have been an error, and the answer is they are not. This has its own trophy list, and the issue with Demon's Souls Platinum was that, at least from research, I can't speak from experience, it was very grindy. You had to grind for materials to upgrade the boss weapons that they would drop, whereas this one's more geared towards, once again, I'm not gonna spoil it, but towards skill and completion, which is something that I think Bloodborne really did. I haven't tried to go for the platinum for, say, Sekiro or Dark Souls 3, but at least in the case of Bloodborne, a game I beat 3 times, that rewarded your completion of the game, doing stuff in the world, going back through multiple times, sort of seeing it all through, which I think is the best platinum, because it rewards you for putting time in, playing the game, and of course the nature of any type of Soulsborne hero game is to master it, so that's inherently built into the design, so it's really just completing the things that are there. So the trophy list has been vastly improved when it comes to the Demon's Souls remake, and I think that'll be good news for those of us who plan on doing a little trophy hunting heading into the next generation of consoles. But when it comes to actual substantial changes here, like mechanically speaking, they don't seem to be doing much of that. A lot of what I've indicated here, from character creation, they've fine-tuned things. You see, the Demon's Souls remake is very different from what we saw in, say, a Final Fantasy VII remake, because when we look at Final Fantasy VII, of course, remaking that entire experience, you're gonna want certain things to run better, look better, of course look better. You're gonna wanna explain certain sections a little bit more because you have that opportunity to do so. The difference with the Demon's Souls remake is Demon's Souls in a lot of ways is still a very competent game. A remake can do it a lot of favors in, say, the quality of life department, which is exactly what they're doing here. It's kind of a case-by-case basis. So I think they're doing all the right things right now when it comes to the Demon's Souls remake, and I'm stoked, man. We're only a couple of days away, so I can't wait to see the response to this video, see if it flops. That's possible. It really is. I'm no stranger to a flop or two out here. But if there is excitement for this game, and if you are looking for more content, hit the subscribe button, join up. We've been seeing a lot of growth lately as we enter this new generation of consoles, and of course I will have my impressions out on this game. So let me know what you're thinking, and with that, I'll talk with all of you soon. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. Those links are in the description down below. Big thank you to all of the patrons who continue to kill it with all of the support over there. Also all of the members. I appreciate each and every single one of you, and I'll talk with you all soon. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.